The Painful Excellence Podcast.
Y'all need to look at it. Now, what I'm going to say this evening, it might strike a few nerves, but believe me when I tell you, it's meant to. It's meant to. And it's open for discussion. Depending on how I'm feeling, I may or may not drop a link. But these are just things that I notice in this country as an American, a foundational Black American. Let me say what's up to my brothers and sisters. Colombia, Rod Neal, Chilltown Majors, Universal Truth, my brother BFTB in the building. And that was a great show, especially, let me just park here for a second. How you treated Mag is how he needs to be treated. I'm not dealing with it no more. Once you're seen over there with the ops, when they're not talking boxing, they're talking about us, that nigga stutter, but he knows exactly what he was doing. They just want to get one in on you. Some op went over to Coach Hudson's comment section talking about us. Me, you, 78, whatever. Flooded Coach Hudson's video with some, they just want to get one off. I'm cleaning the slate. I don't want to deal with nobody. All right? So that was a good job in handling him and letting him know what it is. Chris, what up? Romello, Young Merv, what up, man? Enoch, my brother, salute. Sam Max, salute. Come on in, share the video, smash the like button. Salute to everybody over there on Rumble. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Rumble, because there's gonna be times where I'm gonna have to start playing things, and this might get kind of deep, too deep for YouTube. And I will end the stream on YouTube, but the stream will still be going over on Rumble. I can end it on YouTube, but I can keep it going on Rumble. Dion, salute. So let's get to this. First and foremost, I'm not a political guru like my brother Trill Will. I mean, not like my brother BFTB, but I know some things. And I like to keep it simple as far as boxing, as far as it pertains to the dealings in this country. Lamont, salute. And let me say this: I'm not firing shots at anybody that has fallen. Drew, what do you mean by fallen? The three people on the left have fallen. This dude, Jacob Chansley, on the right, face painted, looking like a Viking, looking like a character right out of House of Dragons, waving an American flag. If y'all don't remember what he did, y'all remember when they stormed the White House? People came from all corners of the nation to storm the White House. You remember that ridiculous thing? Remember that picture of the dude with no shirt on? That's him. He was caught. He was tried, he's convicted. He was brought in alive, y'all. He was brought in alive. And I'm not saying anyone should have been shot. And in fact, someone was shot. I think a woman was shot in the face. You had all these white folk climbing the side of the... I mean, these dudes done lost their damn mind. Shauna, salute, Queen. They lost their damn mind. Climbing the side of the Capitol, falling, and it was crazy. But I think one woman was shot, and that's a good question, Phenomenal Mexican. Did they take him to Burger King first? I don't know. You would think so, right? J-Man, salute. They brought him in alive, and he got minimum backlash. Matter of fact, they don't even talk about him no more. And this is how he was dressed, storming the nation's capital. They really tried to take the building. This got crazy. And I said, you know what? When they went to Trump, and they said, look at what your people are doing. Look at your white folks running around with torches. And when I say torches, you know what these crackers were saying? They weren't torches, they were picnic sticks. There's a name for it. I said, look, man, these crackers got together, and I'm calling them crackers for a reason. They were marching because they're white and they're proud. We're tired of being shamed over something that our ancestors did. Y'all, white privilege still exists. I don't know what y'all screaming and hollering about, but whatever. And they decided to march. I'm like, look at that. This is America? This is America. And y'all turn to black people and look for us to be tiebreakers. Whenever somebody has a political agenda and some political party's trying to get a seat in office and somebody's running, they always do two things. They run to the elemental P community, read between the lines, you know what I'm talking about, and then they run to the what? The black people, because they know we're torn. Some people are unconditional Democrats. Some people are they're in a different tax bracket, they're Republicans. Some people like myself are independent. I look and see what the party's going to do for me, what that politician's going to do for me. How does it affect me? How does it affect my pockets? That's just me. That's just me. Some people might not like this broadcast tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Young Merv the Cutman in that super chat, he says, demands tangible monetary reparations across the board, anti-hate crime bill for us, and to the left, the F alone. That's right. Leave us the F alone. We can be comfortable or we can all be equally uncomfortable. Be one. Love y'all, LDBC. Salute to Young Merv. Thank you so much. Like I said, Prince, what up? Isaiah, salute. They might not like what I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and say it, man. Yo, look. Renee Nicole Good was murdered. Make no mistake about it. She was murdered. Kenneth, what up? All right, let's just start there. She was murdered. The other side to that is she effed around and found out. But she was murdered. Would I have taken that shot? No. I also wouldn't be in front of that car, especially if I'm an officer who just went through getting dragged by a vehicle 6 weeks prior. That was just poor, that was poor situational awareness on his end. All right, but that doesn't mean she should have smashed the gas. I saw two videos. I saw one where it's body cam. I also saw another video where it actually showed that she did kind of nudge him with the vehicle. I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about the outcome. Here's my take on that. Just real quick. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off of it. I know how everyone feels about ICE. Like it or not, they're a form of law enforcement. If they're saying you're detained and you can't move, fighting them is not going to work out well for you. It's really not. Because obviously you see what they're doing now. I heard her girlfriend say, leave, go, 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 whatever the hell she said. And Shorty took off after the other officer was trying to get her out the vehicle. So she boogied. After he was pretty much saying, you can't leave. And she got blicked off. That's just what happened. That's just what happened. Now, I just told y'all, I wouldn't have taken that shot. And also wouldn't have been anywhere in front of that vehicle. I wouldn't have been anywhere where the vehicle would have been able to hit me. Because in the police department, they also teach you about good tactics. They're going to ask you, okay, you got hurt on the job, but tactically, did you do the right thing? You might have to go for retraining. What was you doing standing in front of a car with your hand out talking about stop? You can get ran over. Now, here's the other side to all of this, what's going on. Alex Jeffrey Petty, Renee Nicole Good was murdered in cold blood by officers who were hired and to to do their job, it only takes 6 weeks of training. 6 weeks. That's a month and 2 weeks to carry a gun. And I'm assuming your peace officer status in all 50 states. And you're trained to yank people off the streets, or well, ask for ID. And if the ID is not sufficient enough, you can detain them and take them down. And I'm hearing that they just, when they stopping people, if the person could be an American citizen, it just gets the curse and gets the stink at them. Like, hey man, F you, man, get out of here. They just lock them up just to inconvenience them. That's called policing with your ego. And I could tell you right now, in the NYPD, you might go back and forth with a cop, but at the end of the day, if it's not cause for an arrest, they can cuss at you all day long. You have to be professional. You look at the side of any NYPD police car, it says courtesy, professionalism, and respect, CPR. And while they cussing at you, you know what you're supposed to do? Basically walk away. If they're not breaking any laws, they can say whatever the fuck they want to say. Just walk off. After a while, you get used to it. Stormy, salute. Mr. Big Play, salute. Kenneth, salute. You get used to it. It's like whatever. I'm rubber, you glue. It's whatever. I done cussed out so many times. I'm like, who cares? He can say whatever the hell he want to say. But he's over there cussing. When you start policing with your ego, that's when the public can get hurt. And guess what? That's when you can get hurt. You don't want to have that reputation to put your mitts on somebody, but you got to patrol the neighborhood, because after a while, you're going to meet some airmail. You know what airmail is? When they throw shit off the roof at you. I've seen police cars with refrigerators through the roof of the car. Someone put a refrigerator up on the roof and threw the shit off, and it went through a goddamn squad car, and the officers just so happened to not be in it at that moment. You don't police with your ego. And what I'm seeing, and to be a cop, it's at least 6 months. And we were debating, not we, I'm saying people were debating, should it be a year training? 6 months on paperwork and understanding the law, and another 6 months of field training, so you could see some things. These guys are getting 6 weeks of training. They're arming them, and they're just walking around. And now these guys are not even, they could be in plain clothes. In your city, they're already up here in New York. They're in Washington Heights. What are the Dominicans over there? I want to know if they're going to come over to Katona Avenue, where the off-the-boat Irish people are, off of 233rd and Katona, borderline of Yonkers. There's off-the-boat Irish people over there. I wonder if they're going to walk down there. Probably not. Wonder if they're going to walk up and down Tremont Avenue, by the Bruckner, the Italian neighborhood over there. They're going to bother them? Probably not. But that's another thing. These guys are policing with their egos. 6 weeks of training is not enough. And this is why you have these situations. And no, I would say accidents, but these aren't accidents. Renee Nicole Good was murdered. She could have done something to prevent that. Once they say you can't move and the dude goes to yank your car door open, you wasn't supposed to peel off. I don't care which way the wheels was turned. You wasn't supposed to leave. Because now you see the results. They said you tried to hit homie in the car and it's a justified shooting. That's what they said. And there it is. I rock, salute. Look at that. See that? Brother I rock says, salute and respect, OG, 100. Not only was the training originally longer, and they shortened it to bolster the ranks of ICE and more agents to get to the streets faster, they also reduced it. Of course. Of course. They needed manpower. I'm willing to bet they got people working that job that couldn't qualify to be police officers because they got something on their record that's preventing them. What's the criteria to get the job? Do they have a psychic evaluation? Do you have to do what you used to call it, the psych? Can you pass that to get the damn job? Oh my God, the police academy, you know how long the psych Part of the psych was sitting there all goddamn day. And they ask you the same question like 15 different times, and you better be consistent. And then you got to go sit down and talk to somebody there. He says the PT requirements severely because over 60% of the recruits couldn't pass them. Wow. That's why you see so many fat asses with guts hanging over there. I was wondering about that. These dudes look out of shape. Do they have a 1.5 mile run? Sit-ups, push-ups, climb a gate, push a sled, run up 2 flights of stairs? Can you do that? Can you do that? I'm willing to bet if you sit down and grab a handful of ICE agents and just start doing background checks on them, you're gonna find out there was some shit. So one of these dudes, they got thrown out of school several times. One of them is on Prozac right now. Renee was murdered. Renee Nicole Good was murdered. Now, could she have done something different? Yeah. Once dude opened up your car, that means you wasn't supposed to move. You're supposed to put that shit in park and let him do what he needed to do. Throw you on the floor, whatever. They'd have detained you. They probably would have gave you a fine. But the trade-off is you wouldn't have gotten shot. You tried to peel off and like they wouldn't do what they did. But when you have a bunch of undertrained, gung-ho people working that job, that's the result. Not only did they kill a white person, but they killed Becky. But not to be outdone, they just shot Alex Jeffrey Pretty. Now, let me tell you the bullshit with this. When the news came out, they said they basically made him public enemy number 1. IROC said they don't require none of that, no psych exams, nothing. Now you see the problem. Now you see the problem. Look, if you're looking for a job, and you trying to come up, go take the ICE job, I guess. They're hiring anybody. But what's going to happen is if they don't disband this unit, they're going to make the laws stiffer to get in after this. Because I don't know what their rules and regulations is. I don't know what their shoot and non-shoot scenarios are. I need to see their training method. I need to see it. Now, Alex Jeffrey Peretti, when the news first broke about him, they made it, if you read it, they made it sound like he was out there, waffle salute, like he was out there looking to do harm. I read he had a gun. And it was said that he was damn near a domestic terrorist. Word, phenomenal Mexican, that's crazy. The way it was written, you'd have thought that he went over there with his gun out. Now, if you read it like that, you're like, oh, well, shit. He was asking for it. And then this little thing called video came out. Now, I'm not going to play it here. By now, y'all all saw it. But let me say this. Let me tell you what I saw. And if you saw something different, let me know. But let me tell you what I saw. They bear sprayed a woman. He intervened. And then they got in the mix with him. He was thrown to the ground. There was about 5 officers there. Officer in a tan coat grabs him, finds his legal concealed carry. He had a legal concealed carry. Legal. He disarms him and leaves. He's about 20 feet from the situation. He took his gun. One of them assholes yelled, "Gun!" But the agent that took the gun was already away. Then they got the dumping on him. And then you hear the agent saying, where's the gun? Where's the gun? The motherfucking your coworker that took the gun was across the street damn near. So yes, they shot an unarmed man. They didn't shoot him. They made it sound like he reached for it and then they took him down and shot him while he was reaching for it. No. He had his phone out. He was trying to help the lady. They threw him down. He was disarmed and then they shot him. Don't tell me that wasn't murder. And by the time the first report came out, the way it was written, you'd have thought that he came out with his gun in his hand looking for smoke and he got it. That's the way it was written until that video came out. Now what they're going to do? Now, with all of that being said, I just told you that they murdered Alex Jeffrey Petty. I just told you that they murdered Renee Nicole Good. I just told you that Jacob Chansley is saying, what up? Jacob Chansley was brought in unharmed. And he was storming the nation's capital with that picture. That's from the day he did that. It's fun for him because white privilege says nothing gonna happen to him. Well, things have changed now. When you hire a bunch of gung-ho, underqualified clowns on 6 weeks of training and you giving them a smoking gun with some bullets, this is what they do. They don't know how to deal with the public. Peretti's gun was off his person and then he was shot. Go watch the video. I can't play it here. Now, you might be wondering why the fuck I got George Floyd there. Well, here's the deal. Alex was murdered in cold blood. Renee was murdered in cold blood. Jacob got a slap on the wrist. George Floyd had a knee on his neck, died a slow death. Nobody helped. And the only people that went crazy worldwide was black people. And all I saw online was, well, the police have a hard job. And George Floyd was a bad person. Imagine having a situation where you go to court, you get arrested and you go to court. And you're sitting in there and your lawyer says, this is a slam dunk, sir. This is a slam dunk. They said that you stole something from this store and it was worth $15,000 and we got video. And that's clearly not you. And the cop is a racist. Khalid, salute. The cop is a racist. And all this other stuff. Mark, salute. It's a slam dunk. And right before they about to say you're not guilty, they bring up some bullshit you did, some domestic violence situation you had 5 years ago. And you really did that one. Mr. Shelter, salute. You really did that. You and your girl got into an argument and she punched you and you punched her back and knocked her unconscious. She got up and got to the phone first, called the police, and then you got arrested because you really hit her. And she got to the phone first and you left a mark and she didn't. So they got you for that. And now you're sitting in court and you look, they're nothing but women on the bench. The jury is women, nothing but women. The judge has a bowl cut. Crazy feminist. And then she says, yeah, you didn't do that, but 5 years ago, you hit your girl. Yeah, well, that was thrown out. You know, I was arrested, but she decided not to press charges. Yeah, I don't like that. So I'm gonna go sit you down for 24 months. What? I didn't do that. Nah, but you did that 5 years ago. And I ain't like the outcome of that. Imagine if that's what court was. So when cats start talking about what George Floyd did or whatever, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know what he did. It's irrelevant. I'm not talking about whether he was a good person. Y'all are not Judge Dredd. And when I hear you knuckle draggers talking about, oh, you know, George Floyd, he had domestic violence. I don't want to hear none of that. That had nothing to do with what that fucking officer having a knee on his neck had nothing to do with it. But these are the debates that were happening online. Whenever a black person dies in cold blood by the hands of law enforcement, the first thing they do is find out what kind of person he was. I don't care what George Floyd did. Was that knee on his neck over whatever he did in the past? No. I'm up here saying that all three of these people were murdered by law enforcement. All three of them were. Absolutely. And there's no debate about it. You saw Alex Jeffrey Peretti get murdered. You saw Renee Nicole. These are shootings caught on video. We saw it. You know what else we saw? A knee on George Floyd's neck. He pissed his pants and was calling for his mother. A slow public lynching. And that was a debate. I got to hear about George Floyd's past, and I really didn't care. I can't tell you what he did in his past. It had nothing to do with that knee on his neck. I don't want to hear it. Alex Jeffrey Peretti was a nurse. He didn't deserve what happened to him. Renee, I forgot what she does, but she had a wife. They had an adopted kid. And that's not right what happened to her. Could she have done something better? Yes. She could have prevented what happened. She could have prevented what happened. But, you know, they're shooting Becky now. They're shooting Becky. When it came to George Floyd, nah, that's a face only your mother could love, right? So when Deontay Wilder said to this day, we still going, fighting over 400 years, still fighting to this day, and I see a nigga like AJ making fun of that while driving in a golf cart full of monkeys. I'm not kidding. He really was driving in a golf cart full of monkeys. But made fun of Deontay when he said to this day. Oh, I'm sorry, but when George Floyd, you know, when the world did go crazy, when black people went crazy over George Floyd, and AJ grabbed the mic and talked about what black people should have done or should do. He didn't say kill Whitey. He just said we need to be responsible and support each other's business. Y'all remember what they did to him? His people did to him? His British people did to him? Oh, I hope you lose your next fight. I didn't know you was racist. He didn't say anything racist. AJ didn't say anything racist. But I said, you see? Nigga wake up call. You see how that works? Sometimes you don't have to lift a finger. Just leave it in God's hands. It'll work itself out. Now, all of these motherfuckers that told me that George Floyd was a bad guy and he kind of you basically saying he got what he deserves in the end because he was such a bad guy. You can't even confirm he was a bad guy. You know this media be lying. You know they lie. So you can confirm that he's such a bad guy. Fine, let's roll with that. What kind of person was Renee Nicole Good? Because I heard several things I can't confirm. I heard she was a professional op. You know what that is? To be a professional op? I heard that she was paid to go there just to protest and start trouble. And speaking of paid ops, my next pep talk, I'm going to talk about that light-skinned nigga that was claiming the Black Panthers. What a jerk he is. And the real Black Panther Party shut him down. You can't tell me that dude's not CIA, but I'll wait for the next show for that. I heard something bad about Renee Nicole Good. They ain't harp on it. Why? She's a lesbian. She had a wife. The wife was the one telling her to move the car. No, go. Told her go. So basically, you sent your wife to her doom. You should have been like, chill. Let them do what they want to do. And I'm still on here saying she was unjustly murdered. But half of white America is saying that, you know, we don't know about George Floyd. He was high on drugs and they had to put the knee there. All these crackers that got all these advice. They have all these opinions about the law. When you talk to them, you find out, well, how many times you've been arrested? They always give you a number. So let me get this straight. You're telling me about the law because you've had that cold steel put on your wrist at least 3 times and you're still in your 20s and you know everything? No. No. First of all, you've broken the law several times. Why am I listening to you? Second of all, you can't tell me shit. Now, let me get back to Alex Jeffrey Petty. That is whack what happened to him. That's crazy. And I want to know how white America feels that ICE hired a bunch of idiots, right? There might be 1 or 2 retired cops there. But these are not justified shootings. Go watch the video. There's a guy in a tan jacket, a tan coat, that takes Alex's gun and runs across the street. Then they got to dumping on him. He was unarmed. The guy gets up, says, "Where's the gun? Where's the gun?" He switched cheese on the goddamn floor. You got to be kidding me, man. This is America? This job of rounding up illegals and sending them back to their homes, this is a serious thing. Why are you sending dudes off the street with 6 weeks of training who can't run a mile without passing out and dying? These guys are buffs. You know what buff is? That's a term we use, like a wannabe. The security guard at Walmart that wears a gun belt with no gun in it. He got a baton, mace, high army boots, army fatigues, a tight shirt with his gut hanging over, and he looks like a paratrooper. But he's a security guard. It's like, why you dressed like that? Because he tried to get involved in law enforcement to some capacity and couldn't even cut it. So we call those guys buffs. So now they've given the buffs 6 weeks of training in firearms, and they've killed 2 white Americans so far. And white America's confused. How could Jacob Chansley storm the Capitol and not get shot? Because we had said, if that was a bunch of black people storming the Capitol, the Army and the Navy and the Air Force and the astronauts would have came down from the satellites and they'd have mowed us down. It'd have been martial law. If you're 8 shades darker than a white person, you better not leave your house type shit. And we knew that. There's nothing but white folk running up in there. They asked Trump, what's up with that? He said, stand by and pay attention, whatever he said. He didn't tell him to stop. He told him to stand by. I believe that, Kali. I believe that Jacob was a CIA agent too, man. Come on, man. This whole shit, I believe that, bro. I believe that. 100% I believe that. But they hired these jackasses off the street. Well, you can hire someone off the street with 6 weeks of training and give them a firearm, man. You get people getting killed in cold blood like Renee Nicole Good and Alex Jeffrey Petty. You get that happening to you. Mowed down, cold blood. The way that was written, you'd have thought that Alex came out there, pulled out his gun, and they took him down and then shot him. That's how it was written. I don't feel like bringing it up. Y'all can Google what they said about him at first and then look at the damn video. Nothing what they wrote was in that video. I'm like, yo, they really did. You'd have thought that Alex was black. Alex Jeffrey Muhammad. Alex Jeffrey Johnson. Alex Jeffrey Robinson. From the hood. They killed him in cold blood and lied on him. Slide on them. There's another reason why I got George Floyd picture up there. Let me talk to you black people. Let me tell you what's going on right now. And you need to wake up, because we're in a very serious position of power. We've always been, but we've just been unorganized. Let me tell you what's going on here. Let me tell you what's going on here. We are and forever have been the tiebreaker. We're only 13% of the population of the United States of America. I know the only people that say that we're not, and it should be more than that, those people ain't leave their black neighborhoods in their life. So all they see is black people, so they think we're in abundance. That's not true. We're not. Plus, these queens have deleted 50,000 childbirths since how many years ago? How many abortions these queens get? My body, my choice, but that's something else. Let me tell you, knuckle draggers, something. Mind your damn business. You okay? Mind your damn business. You're American. You're American. Mind your business. This ain't got shit to do with you. I promise you it doesn't. Whenever they need a goddamn tiebreaker, they turn to two groups of people. The LMNOP community and black people. Don't play this game with them. Do not play this game with them. Phenomenal Mexican says, no BS. Most ICE agents are in-depth Latinos. No BS. For real? Oh, no. Wow. You know, you're the second person I read say this. Not all those ICE agents are whites. I've seen black ones and I've seen brown ones. Y'all ever looked at, I did a show on this. Y'all ever looked at the NYPD patch? Let me show you something. I did a show on this a long time ago. I did a show on this. I'm going to show you something. I spoke about this a while ago. You see that patch? Look to the right of that patch. What does that look like? I did a show on it. Go back on Pep Talk. Go to Pay for Excellence podcast and go all the way back when I talked about this patch. What does that look like? On the right. Thank you. Native, right? And look to the left. Looks like a pilgrim hat, right? You paying attention? Hey, we ain't gonna overrun your village, but we need help finding the other natives, the other savages. Do you know how to track them? Do I look out for my fellow natives in the village over? Or do I think self-preservation? So the colonizers got the services of a couple of sellouts. I'm just giving you the quick version. Make sense? But look it up. I did a whole show on this. Look it up. Look it up yourself. But I know what I'm looking at. Okay? So when Phenomenal Mexican is talking about those are in-depth Latinos, it starts to make sense. See what I mean? They ain't gonna bother me and mine as long as I get with their program. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. Look where it got you. You ever looked at that patch? You see that? Funny, right? Press, what up? Funny, right? I drive a bus now. That's all I'm saying. Drew, what do you do? I drive a bus. I work for Transit, MTA, New York Transit, and I make great money. So anyway, look, man. Exactly, Shauna. Symbolism is very important. So black folk, when it comes to this ICE thing, look, listen, you're going to hear the black preachers talking about, they're coming for us next. We have to rally with everybody because Jesus said, no, look, mind your fucking business. In the Bible, it also says, do unto others. I literally watched a brother arguing with ICE, with these Venezuelans, arguing with law enforcement, talking about, yo, you can't be doing this. And in that same rally, there was some Venezuelans, nigga, nigga, nigga. I said, oh, shit. He don't know that they helping. They know. They don't care. They don't care that they can get kicked out this country at any moment. Black Americans, let me explain something to you. At some point, no matter where you are financially in this world, at some point, if you're born here, somebody in your bloodline, whether it's your mother or father's, built this goddamn country. So when they tell you go back to your country, when anybody with an accent that's not American says go back to Africa, you let them know, I never been there. I've never been there. This is my country. As a matter of fact, let me call ICE because I feel threatened. Star City J, salute. 88, salute. Now that sounds, Sam Max, salute. That sounds fucked up, don't it? Guess what? Don't care. I'm tired of you dudes minding other people's business. I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of y'all doing that. I'm sick of y'all doing that. Shut up. Mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with us. They were running around talking about, oh, black, Jew black, you're next. No, I'm not. ICE could knock at my door right now. What y'all want? Yeah, I'm a citizen, man. What you want? Do you know of it? No. Do your job. I'm not gonna help you do your job. But if I'm walking through a rally and some other randomly starts calling me a nigga, hey, you see him right there? I don't have to be respectful after being disrespected. I've been disrespected on my own. So, Shauna, you already know. Salute, Queen. I've been disrespected. I've been called a nigga by a white person with an accent. Andrew Toppin, salute. You heard me right. I've been called a nigga by a cracker with a foreign accent. You on my soil. ICE could come ask me anything. I ain't got shit to hide. Born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx. You could look me up all day. You could look up my family all day. I don't have these problems. I'm not going to no fucking rallies. Look, man, it's fucked up. You know, when I heard that they taking kids and separating families. You know what? That's bad. But guess what? I no vote for Donald Trump. I didn't do that. Those Latinos did. Y'all made a whole fucking song about it. I didn't do that. Y'all did that. And now they look to the African Americans, the black Americans, for the tiebreaker. Oh, civil rights, civil rights. Where the fuck were y'all when George Floyd had that knee on his neck? Because you know what they do? You know what the brown folk do? And I'm not saying all of them. You know what the brown folk normally do? Hey, but you know the Chicago, the Broad and the Crip, and they kill each other. Okay, nigga. All right. That's what it's gonna be. Cool. Guess what? My feelings ain't hurt because I don't look for help for nobody else. I don't. I barely like looking to my own for help. You got that right. But that door swings in both directions. Don't ask me for a mother skunting thing. I no vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for him. I didn't. I didn't vote for him. But now ICE is coming here whooping your ass. They're putting belt to ass. And then y'all try and scare us. Oh, you next. You motherfuckers really think that we don't have a home after we done built this fucking place. Y'all come over here with white privilege. And y'all think y'all can treat us like how these crackers treat us. And now what these crackers has done is they hired these bums off the street, gave them 6 weeks of training, and now they're hired to boot y'all out. They're running up on grandma. She's going to the corner store, literally up the street 100 feet away just to get some green peppers, onions, and some tomatoes. And on the way back, here come ICE. Yeah, ma'am, where you from? Oh, I live up the block right there. Oh, yeah, what's your last name? My name is Rodriguez, Mr. Rodriguez. Guatemala, Menehada, Rodriguez. Yeah, get in the truck. No, leave right here. Get in the truck. Let me see some ID. No, papi, I just need the money and I have no IDs in the house. Get in the truck. We'll figure it out. Hour later, where grandma? She just went to the corner store. You go out to the store. Yo, they done took your grandma. When? An hour ago. Where? I don't know. And where she's really from, Mexico, but been in the States legally for damn near 50 years, they ship her to fucking Peru. That's been happening. They're shipping Latino. They be like, wait. Argentina, Peru, same shit. Send them somewhere. What? He's from Argentina. Why the fuck you sending him to Peru? Why would you do that? You know what I'd really like? If they walked up on good old Henry Garcia and locked his ass up. Because fuck him and his son and his wife. Fuck them. What if they sent his What if they sent his ass to El Salvador? It's like, why are you there? He's never been there in his life. And that's a problem when you got these agents policing with their ego. You know what policing with the ego is? Officer says, yo, you can't stand here. You got to go. Man, fuck you. And you're walking away. Now, you comply, but you're walking away. Fuck you. And he's like, nah, fuck you. See right there? He's not supposed to say anything. You know why? He can say whatever the fuck he want to say. He can have the last word, but you have to have the last act. Get off this corner. You can't stand here. Fuck you, but they leave. He left. You generated compliance. For you to be like, fuck you, and now you following him up the street, and then now you're in front of this kid, yo, fuck you, say that again. And he's trying to get away from you, chest bump him, and then you lock him up for touching you. Shit like that was happening. That's policing with the ego. Say shit to me all day long. But you gonna move though. Yo, y'all guys, not on my tour, man. You guys can't stand here. You gotta go. For the most part, they leave. Every now and again, you get an asshole. You violate my civil rights and I need to stand in front of this bodega. Bro, can't stand here. You gotta go. Shower, salute, queen. Tell them you can't stand here. You gotta go. You violate my civil rights. Bro, listen to me. It's not up to me. But if that van pulls up this block and that white man jump out with that white shirt, that's the sergeant. That's the lieutenant. Once he says you're going down, it's over. It's Friday night. You don't want to do this. Please move. I'm begging you. You don't say that out loud. You tell him, brother, I'm begging you. That man come down this block and he says, yo, you're going, it's over with. They're thirsty tonight. Please just walk away. For the most part, they'll listen. But sometimes you get a dickhead and they're asking for it. Nah, Sam Mac, nah, he's not locked up. I'm saying I wish. Because he deserves it and get deported. So, but that's not all the time. Black folk, you FBAs, so Sang Jin Chung, you missed the part when I didn't say only black people. Were you listening? There were a lot of others that cared about George Floyd. I know that. But did you miss the part when I said I saw a lot of disrespect online? I saw a lot of disrespect online. I saw a lot of people laughing. I saw a lot of people talking about, hey, man, he was a bad dude, as if to say, yeah, you know, he was killed wrongfully, but he kind of deserved it. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Saying, are you at the part where I talked about that? Okay, well, keep watching. George Floyd was murdered in cold blood. And he didn't go fast. His lynching, his public lynching was slow. Renee Nicole Good went fast. Alex Jeffrey Petty went fast. George Floyd was made to suffer. And it's just weird how it's all happening in the same part of the United States where George Floyd was murdered. Isn't that strange? Oh yeah, 704 Joe, Ryan Garcia and guys like that was getting online saying, no, he died from a drug overdose. And then my response to that is, okay, let's meet up and I'm gonna put my knee on your fucking neck and let's see if you survive. Motherfuckers tried to say he was on fentanyl. Now here's the funny part. They tried to say he was drugged up just like they lied and said Alex Jeffrey Petty came out with his gun drawn. They tried to lie on that white man. They said Renee tried to hit the officer with her car, with her Jeep. One thing that they all have in common on the left side is that all of them are dead. And the law lied on them. Go figure that. Go figure that. So to the young man or person, Sang Jin Chung, are you at the part where I said all of these guys, or all three of these people suffered wrongful deaths? And they tried to lie on Alex Jeffrey. They tried to lie on him, man. Are you at the part where I say black people need to mind their business with this? They only run the black people when they need a tiebreaker. Now you need our help. That's why I have George Floyd's face there. That's why. I remember the negative that was said. You go on Instagram right now, whenever you see a black person getting done dirty, go to the comment section, some cracker putting up usual suspects, and the cop be dead wrong. This is not our fight, man. Mind your business now. Stay your ass home. I literally saw a video today. Bionic Prince, salute. I literally saw a video today with a woman holding up a sign. Go ahead, shoot me, shoot me. Now they're rallying, and they're rallying hard. Shoot me, shoot me. And the brother standing there looking at her. I said, what the fuck are you doing there? They will skip her and shoot your dumb ass and start asking you for ID. You got your camera up, they'll say, gun! And it'll be over with. If you don't take y'all asses home, if you don't take your ass home, yeah, Shawa, I agree with that. Oh, let's not forget that. Mr. Shang, what's your name? I think I'm gonna put a star next to your last comment because that was very, very rich when you said what you said. Sang Jin Chung. While that George Floyd thing was happening, and I'm only saying your name because you sound Asian, your name sounds Asian. After Floyd was killed, they pushed a Stop Asian Hate, blaming the hate on us. That was fresh off the pandemic. You know, a couple of assholes was calling it the Kung Flu. They passed that bill. Stop Asian hate. I didn't see Asian hate in New York. All the brothers and sisters do is buy from their stores, whether it's a Korean fruit and vegetable store or a Chinese restaurant. All we do is support their business. Beat them up for what? That wasn't happening in New York. And watch this. If people were jumping out on Asians, it wasn't black people. I promise you it wasn't. Where's our bill? Samson, 100%. Whenever something bad happens to a black person, and we're looking for reform in a form of paperwork, something etched in stone, something tangible, a law, there's always other ethnicities or other groups trying to tag on what we're doing. That's why you have the LGBTQ LMNOP community talking about our gripe and our struggle is just like the black struggle. If y'all don't get the fuck away from us with that. Your struggle is your struggle. It is not the black struggle. Stop it. There was never a continent where all of you guys or girls or guy girls or he, she, hims and all of you with pronouns were on a continent and some Europeans ran up in there and enslaved y'all and made y'all work for 400 years for fucking free. Just to call you lazy when you get some rights. Worked for free for 400 years, and now we got some rights, and we're considered a whole human being, and now you call us lazy after we done built the half the fucking country for free? It's called slavery, assholes. You tell me what gay continent was conquered and made to do anything remotely close for that amount of time. It doesn't exist. And it's disrespectful to us. Black people, y'all need to stay your ass home on this. What happened to Alex and Renee is wrong. What happened to George was wrong. But I saw a lot of people disrespecting George that were not black. And it's true. A lot of people stood in the pocket with us that were not black. Okay, yeah, that's true. But black people don't need to be rallying in the streets because they will skip the next Becky, the next Alex, the next Relay, and they will pop a cap in your ass and say that you was doing what Alex was doing. And Alex had a gun, but it was off his person, and the agent that took it was across the street, and then they got the dumping on him. These ICE agents have no training, no proper training. There's ways to handle a hostile crowd. Every time I turn around, they bear spraying people. I'm like, what are they doing? They threw a fucking smoke bomb in a black family's SUV and almost killed the baby. What the fuck is going on? And the guy driving said, yo, I told them I was just trying to get away from this. I made the wrong turn. I'm trying to ask them how I get out. I wound down the window. They started beating the shit out my van and threw a goddamn smoke bomb and they almost killed my infant. The fella says I'm Asian and there are many Asians who support Black Lives Matter. I don't support Black Lives Matter, my friend. I don't. That whole shit was a setup. Yo, look, I'm not saying that you're not genuine in your support. I'm not saying that. Just a brief history, Black Lives Matter started out as a noble thing, but like most noble things, they get poisoned. And they were properly assimilated. They were properly assimilated with money. And just do the research on it. Just do the research on them and what happened with them. One of those girls was murdered. Then you found out the other one had like homes somewhere. It lost what it was originally supposed to be like. What it was supposed to be. Period. That's what it lost it. Right now, you had this new Black Panther Party with this light-skinned nigga somewhere, and I'm looking at him. I said, why does nigga look familiar? And then I saw the real Black Panther Party say, no, you ain't gonna use our name. We don't know who you are. Stop doing what you're doing. He out there threatening ICE agents with force, and he's out there with guns. I'm like, what is he doing? He's trying to rally the troops. And I'm telling people online, don't you follow behind this dude. I don't trust it. Come to find out, I said, I knew I saw this nigga somewhere. He was parading around a couple of years ago or so with blood in Crip attire on. So he went from blood to Crip to Black Panther? And now you're threatening ICE agents with physical force by way of firearms? You're giving them an excuse in every city. If I'm walking down the street wearing black, are you a Black Panther? Get on the wall. Now I got to deal with that because of something that some dumb yellow nigga did like 50 states over. I ain't got no problem. Listen, this is not my fight, man. Because of him, and I'm telling you, that yellow nigga is a CIA agent. I'm telling you. He's being used to incite people. Somebody online, they're looking for black people online to get rallied up by him talking in various spots in around the country to start shooting. They're looking for a reason to start shooting at us. Whether you believe it or not, they're looking for reasons to shoot us. We don't have no horse in this race. This ain't our business, man. We didn't vote for Trump in the majority. We didn't vote for Trump. You found that out when black women started to say, oh, y'all don't support Kamala Harris, and then they did the research. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Even if you didn't like Kamala, you look at the felon. We didn't vote for him. Well, Sang, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Before I go any further, Sang, because I planned on doing another show about the black and Asian relations. So it's interesting you showed up. How old are you, fella? How old are you? Because my next show, I'm going to talk about a situation. I just want to know how old you are. Because it's weird how you showed up. My next pep talk is going to be about a situation that happened some time ago. And has everything to do with Asian and black relations. How old are you, brother? Thank you, Chase Bowser. Black women blamed us for Kamala Harris not getting in the White House, and then they found out that a majority of us voted for Kamala Harris. So I don't know where this dude came from. I don't know where this dude came from, but I was looking at him. I said, why do I know this dude's face? Not like I know him personally, but I said, nah, I seen him somewhere. And then the internet does what it does. There's video of him with blood encrypted. He got blue and red on, throwing up signs. And I said, what is he doing here? And now he a Black Panther. He's none of the above. I'm willing to bet he's a CIA plant. I'm willing to bet he is. I'm willing to bet he is. I'm willing to bet he is. You're 33. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about, what's today? Today's Monday. I might do another pep talk tomorrow. I'm going to talk about something that happened. And be so kind, saying to pull up tomorrow at 10:30. I'll do it. Wait, what's tomorrow? Tuesday? Yeah, pull up tomorrow. Tuesday, 10:30. And you'll see why I'm saying black people should mind their business. When I see black people come forth out of nowhere and they're doing things to that degree, I'm like, why are they rallying the troops? What are they looking to do? In no universe, I don't give a fuck if it's an open carry state. In no universe am I going to pull up. And listen, I don't care if you can carry an AR-15. He was being very extreme. He was being very extreme. I said, what is he doing? And then he's openly saying, I'll blow a hole in ICE chests if they violate the community. I said, whoa, hold on, man. Hold on, man. There's something wrong with this dude. He's looking to get a bunch of black people killed with this behavior. And all those niggas that was in the room with him, I'm telling you, you don't know what, y'all have no idea what y'all don't know shit, man. They could be the most hood nigga in your hood and you will never know that he's a goddamn op. You will never know. He could be so deep into the gang. Hell, he might have put in work. Like literally killed somebody. So it's either kill somebody and act within the guidelines of that gang or blow your cover. Now, as you said, the outdated slang was a clear sign. You see, you picking up on things, bro. You see? You picking up on things. See what I'm saying? I watched him and I'm looking like, nah. Nothing's right with this dude. And my only hope was that brothers and sisters don't get amped by him. Like how those white folk all around the country got amped and said, we're going to storm the Capitol. And there were crackers coming from all four corners of the country to go to Washington to storm the Capitol. And do what? The funniest part was when the media was there talking some form of law enforcement. They were trying to tell him, yo, look, man, just go home. That white man said, we're taking that building. And the dude standing next to him and said, and do what? He was panicking because he felt at that time, okay, I'm going to pull up here. I'm going to record this. I'm probably going to put up on social media. We're probably just going to make a lot of noise out here, whatever. But then motherfuckers started climbing the wall and busting out windows and trying to get in the building. And he was like, oh, shit. And then his man was like, we're taking that building. And he was like, and then do what? And then what? Taking the building and then what? You didn't sign up for this. You should have stayed your ass home. You should have stayed your ass home. I'm telling you, black folks, stay home, man. This ain't your fight. And I need y'all to remember everything that's done to you. every liquor store in your neighborhood, if you live in a bad one, every bad fast food restaurant that has suddenly been erected in your hood so that you can have hypertension and diabetes, every cop that stares at you crazy and tosses you, you know what tossing is? Just stop, question, and frisk. All the systematic racism you dealt with every time a foreigner called you nigger in your country. Sit this out. Go sit down. We take care of our own. It's a shame what happened to Alex. It's a shame what happened to Renee. But trust me, they got this. They got family, they got friends, and they got America. We don't have that luxury. Because while we're marching for George Floyd, we had a lot of resistance. Y'all remember Mike Brown? We had a lot of resistance. George Zimmerman is still alive and well. He got off. Stay your ass home. And don't listen to some yellow nigga that was just a blood in the Crip a little while ago. Now he a Black Panther. And I saw him drop his color. And now they call themselves the Free Lions or whatever. Man, do whatever it is you want to do. But do it away from me. Now we got to worry about wearing the color black outside. You can go into an all-black affair. And you dipped in black and you going out, you get halfway to your car with your wife, and here come these ICE agents. Yeah, you part of that new Black Panther party? No. Why are you wearing all black? Why can't I? And you got to deal with that shit. Mind your business. Because you know why? And I'm not saying Alex and Renee are bad people. They are now victims of circumstance. They're victims, indeed. They're victims of circumstance. But now, the white man's law is collapsing on itself. To the non-blacks who are here on this soil, if you're non-black and not white, and you're on this soil, and you're a citizen, but your neighbor next door might not be, so he's scared to go outside half the time, or you have a relative that's been here for 5 years but never bothered to get papers, and if they get picked up outside, it's over. Black people, please mind your business. Please, mind your business. Because you need to understand, they always look for us for tiebreakers, man. They don't respect us as a community because every time we try to stand for something, they remind us of only the fucked up things we do in our community and never the fact that half of this world is built off of our fucking ideas. From any form of entertainment, like breakdancing that they put in the motherfucking Olympics, to the goddamn stop sign outside your goddamn house on the corner, to the traffic light. They never talk about the great that we do. Not good, but great that we do. They always got to remind us of the negative, which is a small portion of our community. They had you thinking Chicago was a war zone. As if the Italian mafia still doesn't exist. As if the Albanians don't exist. They have their own gang too. The Asians have their own gang. In the West Coast, I didn't know about the Filipino gang. There's a Cambodian gang out there. Cambodians, yes. I got friends out there that fucking talk to me about that shit. I said, Cambodians? He said, yeah. It's a whole Cambodian gang out there. Cambodian? Look, I'm no expert in part of my American ignorance, but it's sort of like you look at a bunch of Asians in the room. They all know, okay, he's Korean, he's Filipino, he's Chinese, he's Japanese. They know. I can't tell for shit. Or maybe a Filipino, or maybe someone from Thailand if they're dark. But we can't tell. Just like you can put a bunch of Spanish-speaking motherfuckers in the room, and you don't know he's Venezuelan, he's from Peru, he's Puerto Rican, he's Dominican. Well, I'll tell a Dominican, because Dominicans look like me. Some of them. But he's Spaniard. I don't know. They know. They know. I don't know. Mind your business, y'all. They make movies about the Italian mafia. It's damn near celebrated. But when Colors came out, that scared the shit out of white America, didn't it? Exactly. The Irish got a mob. Come on, man. Y'all better go sit y'all black asses down, man. Go sit your black asses down. This is not our fight. I'm sick and tired. When they started dropping bombs on whatever they were doing in the Ukraine, I saw this one nigga. One nigga right here in New York. Yo, man, they can't do that to those people, man. Nah, I'm ready to go over there and fight, man. I mean, man, they can't do that. I said, where the fuck did they find this nigga? How much are they paying him just to say that? It's always some nigga. Mind your business. Y'all see this right there? That's facts right there. That's facts. That's facts. Most of these motherfuckers ain't cosplay. You know there's people that actually like when things like that happen just so they can go and just get involved. Real shit. Stay your ass in the house. Play a video game. Play with your kids. Sleep with your woman. Probably haven't done that in a long time. Do something. If you live by yourself, beat your dick. Pornhub it up. Whatever it is you do. But stay away from that shit. Because trust me, when it's time for us to get to the marching, we're by ourselves. You might see a few others on there talking about, hey, man, you know, we rock with y'all. That's fucked up what you're doing. And salute to the people that do that. But for the most part, mind your business, man. Mind your goddamn business. Stay your ass in the house. It's not us. Shout out to Alex Jeffrey Preddy. He was murdered. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he deserved it. Don't try and flip it. He was murdered, and it's on video. And the government lied on him. What they wrote down was not what I saw. We all saw it. I said, oh, hold on. Because I read the report first. I said, yo, he went in there guns blazing. He got that smoke. And then I saw the video. I said, this the guy? I said, oh, shit, he's on the floor. First of all, he got sprayed. Oh, he got taken down. Oh, he had a firearm. Okay, he took the firearm. The dude with the tan coat got the firearm. He all the way across the street. And then they killed him. I said, whoa. Where's this terrorist that they said he was? Where's this terrorist? Exactly, Shawa. They lied so fast. And they didn't know that that thing was getting videoed. I mean, they lied like hell. They lied. Yo, that, I think right there, in real time, that was the fastest lie the government told that was debunked in like 24 hours. Okay, the Somalian situation. There's two parts to that. Saying there's two parts to that because I did more research on that. Here's my thing with the Somalis. I need you to listen carefully. Fuck them. Okay? Fuck them. You know why? Because at first, I was saying, okay, well, there's a lot of other ethnicities that come to this country and take advantage of the system, and they help their own community. You know, the 24 karat community, they do that all the time. So I said, you know what, if they're over there and they got their own racket going, it is what it is. It's up to the government to stop it. And they did. So if you're doing something that's illegal and the government catches on, that's on y'all. But it didn't bother me because A, I don't live over there, and B, so what? I don't care. And then these videos started emerging that was as old as 2022. And I see these long-nosed niggas talking about, I am not black. I am not black. I am Muslim. I am Muslim from the Sudan. I am not black. Some of them niggas is darker than me. And I say, what the fuck is this? And the reason why it struck a nerve is because I left them alone. I'm like, man, that's for the government to catch them doing. I don't work for the government. If they eating off of their rules and they found loopholes, it's up for the government to find the loophole and destroy it, right? Let them do them. But then I heard that they out there, you know, black people are looking for jobs at their businesses, and not only are they getting declined, they're not hiring the neighborhood. They're talking shit to them. It's like, yo, you already told me no. Why are you acting like those white folks when the black people tried to get jobs? So you cornered the market on whatever the fuck it was. BVO, salute. You cornered the market or whatever the fuck it was, and now you don't want to hire black people because you know black. I am Arab. Okay. You're not black, but let me tell you what I learned. So when these videos started to emerge, I'm looking at it like, hold on. Okay, you're not black, but what's all this disrespect about? You say you're not black, you denounced your blackness, and then you talking shit about black Americans. But then when I watched one of your daycares, it was called something learning center. You meant to spell learning. They left the R out. So somebody who wrote that was illiterate as fuck, and then you left the sign up. And then people go there to ask for a list of your paperwork or how many kids you have enrolled there, whatever. There's a news conference, and this long-nosed nigga comes out there, and I stress the word nigga, and here's what I'm going to tell you. He's a long-nosed nigga. He comes out and says, last night somebody broke in and stole all of our paperwork. Listen, you serving kids over there, whatever. You mean to tell me they didn't steal any fruit snacks? No food or nothing. They stole the motherfucking paperwork. How convenient. But people in the comment section was like, yo, what's up with his glasses? I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at it. They was like, no, his glasses. And I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know. And then one of the girls, you know, the young ladies knew, she said, his fucking frames are like $3,000. And I looked, I said, are they? And then someone put a link. I clicked on the link. Those are like designer glasses he had on. And I went back and I looked, I said, wait a minute. Those rips in his jeans, no, that's fashion. I said, this kid is dipped out. And then someone posted his Instagram. And how do you think he looked on his Instagram? He's posting in front of Mercedes-Benz. He got rolls of money all up and down his arm like he's Adrian Broner from 2008. And I said, whoa, he's not black, but he's the biggest nigga I've seen.
Whoa, what the
And I'll be damned he had on those same glasses on his Instagram. So if you're not black, what are you acting like that for? Because, you know, those are things that were the rappers started doing, the black American rappers were doing. That's something that, quote unquote, we started. So if you're not black, Why are you acting like such a nigga? So guess what? Stay your ass over there. I hope the FBI, the CIA, the IRS, the WBC, the IBF, the WBO, the NABO, the NBA or NBC, I hope everybody rains on your parade and takes all your money and ships your ass back to the Sudan. Since you're not black. You're in Trump's America. You don't claim to be black American, so you're Muslim, which is worse to them. To them, it's worse. You're a dark-skinned, long-nosed buck. And this kid that got buck teeth, dark-skinned, long-nosed, buck-toothed nigga living off the fat of the land. You're stealing from Uncle Sam. What the fuck you think Trump gonna do with you? And they got that woman in the Senate down there. They're gonna fuck around and lock her ass up too. And they're going through all this heartache. And some of them are looking towards black Americans to do something? Nope. I'm home playing my PlayStation with my wives. I'm chilling. I'm not Arab. I'm not from the Middle East. I'm American. I'm from the Bronx, New York, motherfucker. Mansa Musa, my brother, salute. Thank you, Shower. Give those damn tax dollars. They got Uncle Sam for millions. I pay taxes. I pay taxes. They got Uncle Sam for millions. Millions. You ain't black. Your ass ain't white either. You ain't Latin, and you damn sure ain't Jewish. What you are was done. So don't look for us to help for anything. So I said all that to say this. Non-blacks, y'all can support the Somalis, but you don't see it how we see it. That's what I was talking to the brother Sang. And Sang, please show up tomorrow, because I'm going to address something else too. So on the outside looking in, now Sang, I bet you didn't even know that they said that about black Americans, did you? I treat people how they want to be treated. The extent of me supporting Alex Jeffrey and Renee Nicole Good, the extent, Derek Gaines, a legend, salute. The extent of my support to them is saying what I saw. They were murdered. They were murdered by a collapsed bullshit agency in a faulty system. They were murdered. Well, it's not collapsed yet. It's about to collapse. These two have died for change. I bet Renee didn't. She never thought in a million years that she would lose her life doing what she did. Because she's white and she's a white female and she's a lesbian. In her mind, the last thing she ever thought was that these agents would shoot her. That was the last thing. Alex Jeffrey, and let me tell you something. There's not a white person on planet Earth that would switch positions with any black person. I don't care how rich the black person is. I got white friends. They tell me what it is. They would never. They know what danger is. Some of my white friends that used to live in the Bronx that are adults, they don't live here no more, but they know what we deal with. They would never switch spots. This shit is tragic. This shit is tragic what happened to Alex and Renee. But George happened first, and I saw more resistance than anything. And it was disgusting. It was open and shut. Only in America can a black church accept a white boy come in there and show him love. He comes back and shoots everybody in the church. And what the fuck do? They go get Dillian Root from his fucking home and put a bulletproof vest on him and get him Burger King before they bring him to the fucking station house. No, I'm sorry. They brought him to the station house and fed him with Burger King. If white people were killed by a black thug, first of all, he could have a mental disorder, but they'd have called him a thug, and he probably wouldn't have made it to the goddamn station. He wouldn't have got no Burger King. He wouldn't have had no goddamn police vest on. So this is the country we're living in right now. And I still had black people, relatives of that church, talking about, we forgive you. Dude, listen, man, I believe in God and all that, but you know what? I'm not that forgiving, man. I'm not there yet. George Zimmerman got off. I can go on and on and on and on. Then George Floyd. A lot of people did march for George Floyd, and they weren't all black. Majority of them were, because that was a worldwide situation. And I'm not saying it was only black people. There was a lot of others that said, nah, this ain't right. But the resistance was crazy. And sidebar, for those of you that are watching on my boxing channel, that George Floyd shit, I'm telling you, with Ryan Garcia, there's no coming back from that shit. You can't be black and talking to that kid after what he said about that man. And said, ain't no one gonna do nothing to me. So when I see Shakur, I think Shakur, I was watching Blue Bloods video, Shakur says something about it be your own people. You wait till I spin the block and get back to Shakur. You wait. Didn't I not do a fucking video last week? Reminding y'all, don't forget who this nigga is. Don't forget who Shakur is. I'm rooting for him to beat Teofimo because I don't like Teofimo, but let's not forget who Shakur is. I'm not like emotionally invested into this. Same thing. Who's on the live with Ryan Garcia? Keyshawn, his quote unquote brother. Don't forget who he is. Thank you, Derek. Trail of Tears to the Native Americans. The Tuskegee experiment. You see what I mean? This is the history of this fucking country. And then we get foreigners that come here and they get access to resources that foundational black Americans don't have. They get into a different position than we are, and they look down on us. So when I tell my brothers and sisters, sit this one out, it's bad what happened to Alex and Renee, but please sit this one out. Let them get this. You don't have to involve yourself in it. I haven't uploaded it yet, but the video of the brother fighting on behalf of the Venezuelans, telling somebody that was in charge of the law enforcement, yo, you can't do that to these people, whatever. In that crowd, they zoomed in on two Venezuelans calling that man a nigger. Nigga, we don't need you. We got this. Get away. Man, that's okay. This nigga gonna stay right in the house, man. I ain't marching for no Venezuelans. I ain't marching for no Panamanians. I ain't marching for nobody. Especially if your ass been here and just didn't bother to get your shit in order. There's no excuse for you to be on this soil for more than a decade and you ain't get no citizenship. What is wrong with you? Just like you getting a job as a provisional and you've been on the job 20 years and they done gave the test for your position like in 20 years at least 15 times and you never took the goddamn test, and then they finally start giving cuts, and then you're the top of the list getting cut. Like, yo, I've been here 20 years, I got cut. Why? Well, they gave the test 15 times. You should have took the test so you could become permanent. That's you fucking around. So if you're on this soil and you just didn't bother getting your citizenship, then you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that. But you know what? Not my problem. I read a lot of people saying what happened to George Floyd is not my problem. And people will say, well, why? Oh, well, Chicago. Oh, well, black people, they start talking that Charlie Kirk shit. You're more likely to be robbed by a black person. Man, if Charlie Kirk, if that didn't happen to him, I was waiting for him to come anywhere out east, close to New York, because I would have loved to debate him, because I got the real facts, data, and statistics. You know, I was about to say I'd have smoked him on. Look, I'd have bet. Well, can't say that. Can't say body be nope, because the man is dead. I would have debated him under the table. They'd have took the mic, because what he did was tell half-truths. That's what he did. He told half-truths. Some of the shit he said, I know exactly where he got it from. I know exactly where he got it from, and it was wrong. I know exactly where he got it from. Man, I told my friends, I said, man, if this dude come anywhere to NYU, I don't give a fuck if he's up in Syracuse, anywhere in Albany, oh, he gonna get this work. They'd have had to take the mic. He said a lot of bullshit. A lot. That's what it was, Najee. It was outdated shit. But when you speak with conviction and you talking to a bunch of college students that don't know any better, who react off of emotion, they don't know how to debate. I did see him get body bagged by that sister. I played it on here too. She murked him, and they had to take her mic. And she wasn't belligerent or anything. She was just killing him with facts. But anyway, Dank, what up, man? Anyway, I gotta get out of here. It's my last set of 50 push-ups right here. I'm trying to do 1,000 a day. I made it. So my shoulders are shaking, but whatever, man. What I say, 1,000, I'm bugging. I'm trying to work my way back to 1,000. It's only 500 a day. Only 500. But y'all get it in. Get it in where you fit in, man. We always moving here. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. I'm gonna do pep talk tomorrow. Black people, let me be very clear. What happened to Alex and what happened to Renee, it was murder. Okay, it was murder. But this is white on white crime. This is not our business. It's not our business. It's wrong what happened to them, but it's not our business. And we need to mind our FBA business, okay? Let's mind our FBA business. Salute to y'all. I'll be talking that boxing in the morning. Tomorrow's Monkey Tuesday, so you already know what I'm doing. You already know what I'm doing. This is day number 12. Tank turned himself in yet? Yes, sir. Y'all take it gently, man.
The Painful Excellence Podcast.